Thank you all for listening and watching my videos. Please subscribe and like my channel Master Coolitz. Hoping that you will not skip my ads, it's a big help for me by not skipping it. Thank you so much. Dragon Shadow. The Rise.
A funnel-shaped vital energy cluster appeared in the sky above the mountain where Zane Martel was located. It swirled inside the peak, entering Zane Martel's body. In the Skyspring land, which was full of vital energy, his lack of vital energy was immediately replenished. The ball of light in his energy center continued to absorb the vital energy, gradually changing its outline, becoming slender and beautiful. Another dragon's roar rang out. This time, the ball of light transformed into a silver, devouring dragon. In addition to its size, its appearance and aura were almost identical to the devouring dragon in the dragon prison. A few golden scales mixed within the densely packed silver scales on the devouring dragon, glowing with spiritual light and appearing incomparably mysterious. The moment the golden-silver devouring dragon successfully condensed its martial spirit, Zane Martel finally stepped into the advanced level. Zane Martel opened his eyes, excitement lighting up his face.
So this is the strength of the advanced level. It's too strong. It's 2 or 3 times stronger than what I had. I wonder what enemy I can deal with right now with my current strength.
Zane Martel looked at the dragon-devouring martial spirit in his energy center, joy filling his chest as he spoke.
Although the martial spirit is only as big as an earthworm, it's still intimidating just to look at it. In that case, is my martial spirit based on martial arts or the demonic beast?
Martial spirits could be categorized into 3 types: the demonic martial beast, elemental martial spirit, and martial arts martial spirit. Given his current circumstances, his dragon-devouring martial spirit could be considered within the martial arts martial spirit. After all, Zane Martel had only managed to gather the dragon-devouring martial spirit by cultivating the devouring dragon technique.
What's going on outside? Why is it so noisy?
Zane Martel heard the noises outside and was about to go out to take a look. However, the abnormal natural phenomenon caused by his breakthrough had yet to fade away from the skies. On the contrary, the phenomenon seemed even stranger. Within the thick clouds, dull thunder rolled. The violent thunder turned into thick electric pythons, swallowing and exhaling the snake's breath. A huge void, bigger than the water spring, appeared in the middle of the dark clouds. It was pitch black in the depths, without a ray of light. Suddenly, a flash of light was in the darkness. It was a pitch black eyeball. The terrifying pressure this eyeball emitted was weaker than the devouring dragon bone in Zane Martel's dragon-swallowing prison. It was even more powerful. The moment it appeared, the skies and ground seemed to be on the verge of collapsing. However, no one noticed the eyeball. A dark beam of light shot down from the eyeball at the mountain where Zane Martel was. The black light pillar passed through the mountain, accurately entering Zane Martel's body. Zane Martel felt an exploding pain in his head, making him feel dizzy. It was as if thousands of ants were crawling and gnawing on his brain, tearing through his organs.
What's going on? Why is there suddenly a beam of light?
Zane Martel gritted his teeth desperately, using his iron body to resist the almost suffocating pain. His entire body seemed to have been penetrated by the light pillar, especially in the middle of his eyebrows. He felt as though there was a pit at that spot. He didn't know how much time had passed. It seemed to be half an hour, half a day, or even a day. What was this mysterious power? And how would Zane Martel survive this overwhelming pain? The answers remained shrouded in uncertainty. The pain finally stopped. Zane Martel slumped to the ground with a thud. He was drenched in sweat, panting for breath.
What happened?
Sweat covered his forehead. He reached out to wipe it, but his hand touched a moist object. Pain shot through him as if he had poked himself in the eye.
What is this?
Zane Martel hurriedly looked at his reflection in the small puddle on the side. Almost immediately, goosebumps crawled all over his skin. In the middle of the space between his brows, there was an incomparably dark and mysterious vertical eye. The vertical eye emitted an extremely dangerous and demonic aura. It was pitch black, without even the slightest bit of white in it.
What's going on? Why is there another eye on my head? This is not human. It's a monster.
He felt goosebumps looking at his reflection. He did not look like a human or a demon. Zane Martel continued to monitor his reflection and noticed he could not conceal the vertical eye, nor would it disappear. Aside from looking a little weird, the vertical eye did not bring him any unique benefit. His vision still relied on his regular eyes. The vertical eye between his brows looked more like an accessory. He checked other parts of his body to ensure nothing else was wrong. Then he breathed a sigh of relief.
It's okay. Other than looking a little strange, there's nothing else. It's probably a change caused by the devouring dragon technique. But if people outside see me like this, they will treat me as an alien. I should try to hide it first.
Zane Martel took a scarf and tied it around his forehead, covering his vertical eye. He transformed into Larry Shaw, his alternate identity, with no trace of Zane Martel's scent or aura. The battle outside the cave continued. Even though Elemental had gone out to help Bo Thompson, the two were no match for Kader.
1,000 mountains and rivers.
Kader punched Elemental's waist with his strong fist, sending him flying dozens of meters away. His other hand turned into a claw, grabbing through Bo Thompson's illusion and holding her by the throat.
Haha, your young master is still unwilling to show himself. He doesn't value you two at all.
You're right, let's kill them. The abnormal natural phenomenon has disappeared. I'm sure that guy has claimed the innate spirit treasure as his own. Damn it, how dare he steal our stuff?
Next to Kader was a sturdy man who resembled him a lot. He was of the second level of the advanced level. From when he discovered the strange phenomenon to when he arrived at the cave, he had not made a move. His status was clearly higher than Kader.
Sure, I'll kill them right away and bring you the treasure inside.
As he spoke, Kader suddenly exerted force into his arm. The force transmitted into Bo Thompson's body, making it difficult for her to breathe, and she felt like she was suffocating. No matter how hard Bo Thompson struggled, there was nothing she could do. The difference in their cultivation levels was too great. It was already impressive enough that she was able to persist until now. Gradually, Bo Thompson began to weaken as her vitality faded. At that moment, footsteps sounded from within the pitch-black cave. Zane Martel stepped out coldly, watching everything with killing intent on his face.
Are you their young master? You're finally here. I'll kill them before I kill you, don't worry.
Kader was very arrogant. He did not take Zane Martel seriously, as if Zane Martel were a toy he could play with at will. But what would happen next? The tension reached its peak.
Young master.
Bo Thompson's voice was weak and her body had no strength. An intimidating wave of aura erupted from Zane Martel's body as he spoke, word by word.
Let go of her in 3 seconds and kill yourself. That will be your best ending. Otherwise, you will definitely regret going against my words.
After hearing Zane Martel's words, Kader burst out laughing.
Ha 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 ha. You're on your own and you expect me to kill myself? Do you think you're invincible because you've obtained an innate spirit treasure? Then...
However, Zane Martel's eyes were filled with murderous intent before Kader could finish his words. He flicked his finger and directly struck out a rapid sword energy. The sword energy hit accurately on Kader's wrist and immediately blew up his flesh.
Ah, my hand!
With his arm chopped off, Bo Thompson fell straight down before Zane Martel. He chased after and caught her.
Bo Thompson, are you okay?
Bo Thompson's face was deathly pale and she frowned.
I'm okay. Young master, I would have been in trouble if you were slightly late. Wait. Young master, have you broken through to the advanced level?
Bo Thompson's eyes lit up in surprise.
Yes, leave the rest to me. You can go take care of Elemental's injuries first.
Understood.
Bo Thompson flew near the cave and helped Elemental up.
How dare you hurt my hand, I will kill you.
Kader had stopped the bleeding on his wrist. His momentum increased. His body became stronger. Layers of yellow hair appeared on the upper layer of his skin, revealing his true form. He turned out to be an adult-sized demon bear. The demon bear was more than twice as strong in its terrifying aura and strength. The crowd began to discuss amongst themselves, all assuming Zane Martel would be defeated. Although he had cut off Kader's arm, he had no chance of winning since Kader had revealed his true form as a demon bear. Moreover, next to Kader stood Samurai, who was more powerful with his strength at the second level of the advanced level.
How is it useful for you to show your actual form? I'm in a hurry, and I don't want to waste my time. So I'll get rid of you with one sword.
As he spoke, the Black Abyss sword appeared in Zane Martel's hand. At that moment, a terrifying aura erupted. Zane Martell was like a demon god that stirred up fear among the crowd. Not only Cater, even his older brother Samuel felt his heart tighten at that sight.
Cater, stand behind me.
Cater was stunned when he heard that, and then he said anxiously,
Brother, I can get rid of him.
I told you to stand behind me.
Cater had no choice but to retreat behind Samuel and glared at Zane Martell.
Your sword seems powerful. I admit that you may be a powerful figure on the first level of the advanced level. But as long as I'm here, you can never hurt my brother.
What if I insist on hurting him?
Give it a try.
Samuel's eyes were filled with anger. Although he did not show his true form of the demon race, his strength was still much stronger than Cater's. He exerted all his strength and threw out some punches. The air around them scattered and his momentum was strong. Samuel was very fast, and he was about to hit Zane Martell. However, Zane Martell raised his eyebrows and asked,
That's all you got?
A breeze blew, and Zane Martell's figure disappeared in an instant, as if he had completely evaporated from the mortal world. The power of wind. At that moment, Zane Martell's power of wind had already surpassed the major completion level. Everyone else was shocked. In the void, a terrifying sword energy appeared not far behind Cater, emitting a dark green light. In the next moment, the sound of flesh being torn was heard, followed by Cater's miserable screams. He only screamed twice before he lost his vitality. Then his body was hit by the sword energy and was cut into halves.
Cater.
Samuel was completely enraged. He did not expect Zane Martell's attack to be so swift and violent that he was caught entirely off guard. Samuel now realized Zane Martell was very powerful, but no matter what, he had to take revenge for his brother.
You killed Cater. I want you, your woman, and that demonic beast to pay with your lives.
Samuel revealed his true form of the demon clan, but he was nearly a meter taller than Cater. His aura had reached the middle of the second stage of his level.
Die now, Bear's Roar.
He opened his mouth and a dazzling energy cannon was condensed inside. The vital energy around him gathered toward him. Someone exclaimed, and the people around immediately fled in all directions. The energy cannon flew over, almost swallowing Zane Martell. Zane Martell did not retreat. Instead, he advanced. He struck his Black Abyss sword at the energy cannon. Its sharp and heavy blade directly broke through the shell. Using the momentum, he cut Samuel into halves, too. Samuel might not even have expected that he would die so easily. He could barely react to that.
Devour.
A devouring power came, and Zane Martell immediately devoured all of Samuel's talent, vital energy, and blood energy.
What a huge amount of vital energy. As expected, the vital energy of the Demon Clan is indeed unique.
Zane Martell was not yet satisfied. He descended from the sky and devoured Cater's corpse. Only then did he feel satisfied. He returned next to the cave to check Bo Thompson and Elemental's injuries.
How are you doing?
Bo Thompson's complexion looked much better, but her aura was still weak.
I'm fine, but Elemental seems to be badly injured.
Elemental lay on the ground. It was pierced through in the abdomen, and blood kept seeping out, almost dyeing the ground red. Zane Martell frowned. He hurriedly used his vital energy to help it heal its injuries and took out some medicinal pills for it to consume. 2 days later, Elemental's injuries had finally recovered. Zane Martell kept them back in his spirit cultivation ring and left the Sky Spring land. He didn't immediately return to his residence after returning to the Wolf City's Dark Wolf Hall. Instead, he immediately headed to the Scripture Hall.
The Dark Wolf Hall was very powerful, housing the humans and the Demon Clan. Naturally, there were a lot of things and stories recorded.
Zane Martell planned to learn more about the vertical eye between his eyebrows. After spending a day and a night there, Zane Martell walked out dispiritedly.
I still couldn't find a thing despite reading all the books about eyes in the Dark Wolf Hall. The only thing that is similar is the demonic beast with 3 eyes, but it has nothing to do with me. It seems I will have to start from the devouring dragon technique if I want to understand the secret behind the vertical eye.
Zane Martell was helpless and a little worried about the vertical eye between his eyebrows. Once he was discovered by some people with great eyesight about the secret behind the simple scarf on his head, he would definitely be regarded as a monster. It was fine if they treated him as a monster, but if this stirred up a sensation, people might try to track him down. By then, people would soon expose Zane Martel for hiding in the Eastern Palm as an attempt to save Elora. At that time, even Maven, a powerful figure at the expert level who was injured by Zane Martel, would be the first to kill him, and Zane Martel could only dream about saving Elora.
It seems I have to find a way to hide the vertical eye on my forehead.
With this in mind, he returned to his room. After resting for 3 hours, he jumped into the Dragon Prison. At that moment in the Dragon Prison, due to the fact that Zane Martel had broken through to the advanced level, the thunder kept rolling in the starry sky, and they had caused countless pits on the ground. Fortunately, the dragon-swallowing prison had the ability to repair itself, and it was constantly repairing itself.
Even breaking through to the advanced level wasn't able to repair the devouring dragon bone a little more? It looks like I still have to think of a way to obtain even rarer ancient bloodlines. In Eastern Palm, it was easy to obtain the bloodlines of ordinary demonic beasts or members of the demon clan. However, it wasn't that easy to obtain the ancient demonic beast's bloodline.
Soon, Zane Martel arrived at the fourth wisdom chamber. There was a huge gear in front of him. The gear was made of unknown materials. They were firm and sturdy, with a more than 10-meter radius. There were 3 gears in total. In front of each gear was an altar-like building with a groove inside that was the same as the beast blood pool.
This willpower gear was obtained after I broke through the devouring dragon technique and opened the wisdom chamber. It can enhance my willpower. If it weren't for the willpower gear, given my original willpower, I wouldn't even be able to pass the devil barrier puppet. However, entering the willpower gear to cultivate is too painful. I'm scared just thinking about it now. It would be great if the willpower gear were the same as the beast blood pool that could be paid with crystals. However, it had to be the extremely rare Blackstar Stone. It seems that after this round I have to find a way to get more Blackstar Stones.
As he spoke, he inserted the Blackstar Stone into the groove of the altar. Suddenly, the willpower gear started to turn. A shadow that resembled a ghost flew out from Zane Martel's body. It was the manifestation of Zane Martel's willpower. As soon as the shadow appeared, it was attracted by the slowly rotating willpower gear. Soon, the shadow rolled in and was crushed by every piece of metal. The sharp and heavy weight of the gears instantly shattered Zane Martel's willpower shadow, after which it swiftly recovered and repeated the process again and again.
How can there be such a painful thing? Can't it be a little more comfortable? If it weren't for the fact that it really greatly enhanced my willpower, I wouldn't have done this.
Each time he was crushed, it would be complete torture to his willpower body. It was like a knife stabbing into his head and smashing his brain. Zane Martel had gotten used to this pain, or he would have died of pain a long time ago. A day later, the willpower gear finally stopped. Zane Martel's spirit body had also become much more solid, and it suddenly went inside his physical body. Immediately afterward, he opened his eyes, feeling incredibly happy.
Although the process is painful, it is indeed effective. If I do it again, my willpower will surely break through to the transcendent level. Wait, who's looking for me?
He left the dragon prison in a hurry and returned to his room. At this moment, someone knocked on the door. He opened the door and saw a middle-aged man. It was Darvin, the examiner in the entrance exam that day.
Her Highness Katie strongly recommended you to Elder Klain. Master Klain wants to see you.
Elder? Klain? See me?
Zane Martel had personally experienced the strength of someone at the Mahayana level and was almost killed. What could they want from him?
Please lead the way.
Under Darvin's lead, Zane Martel arrived at a relatively spacious garden. There were green hills, rivers, birds, and flowers inside the garden. It was full of vitality.
You must be Larry Shaw, whom Katie often mentioned. Don't be so formal with us. Here, take a seat.
However, just as Zane Martel was about to move and walk toward the chair, a terrifying willpower pressure erupted from Klain's eyes.
You!
Zane Martel instantly understood that Klain only did that to test his strength instead of trying to hurt him. Since that was the case, Zane Martel would no longer stand on ceremony. Powerful willpower was also released from Zane Martel's body. Although not as terrifying as Klain's, it was definitely not to be underestimated.
Good. You managed to free yourself and walk under my willpower pressure. You are indeed a formidable young man. Larry Shaw, if I'm not mistaken. Your willpower should be about to break through to the transcendent level.
Master, you're right. I'm about to make a breakthrough.
What did you say? Larry Shaw, your willpower is about to break through to the transcendent level. Doesn't that make you stronger than me?
What can I do for you, Master?
I heard from Katie that she has a new disciple with a celestial body, and I grew interested in meeting you in person.
Zane Martell acknowledged his talent to him. His 12-star talent was very ordinary. He was not outstanding, and he thought nothing was abnormal about this either.
What do you think of the Demon Clan?
The people of the Demon Clan, they were a balance between the two. However, they had the advantages of both clans. Their spiritual intelligence was similar to humans, and their physical strength was similar to the demonic beasts. It could be said that they were blessed. In the past, I was the same as many humans, having negative opinions toward the people of the Demon Clan. But after getting to know them better, the estrangement gradually disappeared. Sometimes, I even feel that the people of the Demon Clan are easier to get along with than humans.
That's an interesting answer. I wanted to talk to you about the sect competition.
Sect competition?
The sect competition was held in the whole Eastern Palm every 2 years, and the participants were the new disciples of each sect in the past 2 years. By then, all the sects and forces in Eastern Palm would be qualified to participate in the competition. The winner would be determined after each round of competition between the disciples of each sect. However, there was a very special requirement for the competition. If they wanted to participate as a super sect, they must send 2 disciples of the celestial body to represent the sect in the competition.
The Dark Wolf Hall had only one disciple of the celestial body before this, and since they only had one disciple, they were not qualified enough to join as a super sect. Now that Zane Martell had joined them, they were just in line with the requirement. However, there was one thing that Zane Martell could not understand.
Why must we participate as a super sect? Isn't it the same to go as an ordinary sect?
His question triggered something. Klane's eyes suddenly dimmed, and he explained,
You're not wrong to think that. If we participate as an ordinary sect, our ranking will be equally effective. However, if we ranked 4th in the competition, we would only be ranked 4th instead of becoming one of the 4 major forces in Eastern Palm. There will only be 3 major forces. What we need is to display a deterrent power. We must let the 3 major forces know they should not underestimate us.
At this point, Zane Martell finally understood they were doing this to stop others from looking down on them. It was like how he was looked down upon by the White Wolf Academy when he was in the 5 Spirit Sects Azure Dragon Academy. These people from the Demon Clan in the Dark Wolf Hall were also looked down upon by the humans of the 3 major forces and even the entire Eastern Palm, because they were different and because they were outsiders. Since ancient times, humans had been discriminating against people who looked different from them, and discrimination would inevitably happen. However, was that really the case? Zane Martell did not think the reason behind this was that simple. There must be some reason for them to be eager to participate as a super sect, but they did not want him to know.
Master, you mean...
Of course, I hope that you can represent our Dark Wolf Hall to participate. As a reward, we can allow you to choose an Earth-level martial arts technique from the Scriptor Hall for free.
Zane Martell nodded. Putting aside the Earth-level martial arts technique, his Wind Serpent Step and Thunderbolt Fist were already Earth-level martial arts techniques. He was not lacking in that aspect. However, participating in the sect competition was indeed beneficial to him. Zane Martell suspected Eric Helm's disappearance was related to an unknown sect. If he could find some clues about the unknown sect during the competition, he might be able to find Eric Helm.
Master, I don't need an Earth-level martial arts technique. Instead, I would love some demonic beast blood essence. It would be even better if you could provide me with the blood essence of an ancient demonic beast.
The blood essence of the ancient demonic beast could repair the devouring dragon bone, which would be more beneficial to him. Upon hearing Zane Martell's words, even Klane frowned. It was not easy to obtain the blood essence of an ancient demonic beast. The ancient demonic beast was either extinct or almost never appeared in human society. Where could he find it for Zane Martell? Finally, Klane sighed and replied,
The blood essence of the ancient demonic beast is too rare. We don't necessarily have it in the Dark Wolf Hall. I can only try to ask around.
Hearing this, Zane Martell was overjoyed. It would definitely be easier to get what he wanted through Klane's connections.
All right. You should go get ready and prepare yourself as the sect competition starts next month.
Zane Martell was full of fighting spirit. He chatted with them for a while and was about to leave. Suddenly, an idea flashed through his mind and he blurted out,
Master Klane, Katie, have you heard of the Northern Demon Country? Do you know if this country truly exists?